Hi there, and thanks for tuning in to this day's Borrow Smart, Repay Smart lesson. I'm John Thompson. I'm the team leader here at TG Loans Mortgage, and today we're going to be talking about making payments on in retirement, essentially. Let's talk about a little bit about the reality of. Let me get rid of this. The reality of making payments on potentially on a reverse mortgage. We do understand that a lot of people are going to go into retirement with mortgages still. It's becoming more and more common, and that idea of getting rid of all your mortgage and the mortgage payments by the time you hit retirement is kind of a faint hope for most people these days, right? So it's a big challenge, and so people are sort of considering, do I get into a low rate mortgage now, or do I think about a reverse mortgage? What do you do? And so we're going to kind of compare those two things together. And maybe it makes sense to make payments on a reverse mortgage, which might provide things like flexibility, increased protection, a way to monetize an illegal asset, and then maybe sort of partially controlling the home equity conversation. Although a lot of that is beyond our control, as we know from other lessons, because of the market ups and downs and so forth. So in this example, we're going to compare a $260,000 forward mortgage and a reverse mortgage. This is actually a real case study from a client of ours we recently helped. So we're going to kind of share that information with you and kind of how it came out. So we have the semi-retired couple. They're in their late 60s. They still have a $260,000 mortgage. They sort of think they can stay in their home. They like to age in place. They think they can be there another 20 years, give or take. Their home value today, I don't have it on this thing, but the home value today is around $650,000. And again, here they owe this $260,000 mortgage. And so we're putting together a refinance to get them into another 30-year full mortgage to kind of save cash flow. They're just concerned about cash flow and so forth, right? And so in this example, we've cut their payment down to $1,132. We've saved $350 a month in cash flow, and they're getting this nice low interest rate. So this would be a nice win and so forth. Sorry about that. Let me go backwards here. All right, and so let's kind of look at this over a 20-year period. So 20-year period, if we assume a 2% rate of appreciation, the home value has now gone up to about $970,000. They still owe $115,000 on it because they're, of course, making those payments. They are ahead of the game because they've saved that cash flow, so that's a good thing. And then let's look at a reverse mortgage then. So on a reverse mortgage, if we make a consideration, again, we got payments over here at $1,132, required payments. So they have to make the payments. There's no choice. On a reverse mortgage, keep in mind that you're not required to make any payment. You can choose to make any payment you want. So this is a great tool for people that sort of like to plan and do different things. So in this example, we're just going to say just a very simple, exact same thing. Reverse mortgage making the same payment, $1,100 a month, 2% home appreciation. You'll see the loan balance on day one. This is actually after 1 year. But the big thing they get is a line of credit, and which you don't get over here, right? There's no line of credit. There's no access to additional equity, no access to anything else. On the reverse mortgage, they get a $106,000 line of credit on day one to use for any purpose. This is healthcare, travel, protection, whatever else it might be. And by making the $1,100 a month payments, now that line of credit is increasing pretty quickly. So you'll see down to 10 years down. So now they're in the late 70s. There's a line of credit of $293,000, almost $300,000 in protection. The loan balance is at $245,000. So you have the loan balances coming down, but not very quickly. And if we go all the way out to 20 years, you'll see it down here. Home value, the same as it would have been on the other example. They owe $202,000. There's a line of credit for almost $600,000 line of credit, and there's $763,000 in equity in the home. Whereas over here, we had about $853,000 in equity. So obviously more equity in the forward mortgage, but protection and flexibility in this example. Now let's just say they kind of went a different way. Let's just say they made $1,100 payments for 5 or 6 years. So that's fine. We start on the same thing on day one. Line of credit starts to grow. Then they say, well, we don't really want to keep making those payments. So we're going to work part-time, and now we're not going to work part-time. So we can still make $500 payments. So now $500 payments for another 5 or 6 years. You'll see the line of credit continues to grow up to $270,000 over here. The loan balance is obviously increasing because they're not making as much payments on it. Home value is going up as well. If we go all the way out to 20 years now, you have a loan balance at $413,000, line of credit for $380,000, and still there's $550,000 of equity remaining in the home. So again, they could choose to make those payments up, down, no payments, all the rest with a lot of flexibility. So it's going to be a reality for vast number of people. There is no right or wrong answer. The reality is we don't know which one's better. In that example, our client took the forward mortgage. They did not take the reverse mortgage. They weren't comfortable doing that quite yet, but they left it open as an option. And so there's just a lot of options to kind of consider. So think about things like cash flow and sustainable planning and the lifestyle you want to enjoy with cash flow, legacy planning, who else is involved in the plan, And what is the rest of the plan, right? What else is going to go on here? Health, taxes, estate planning, and the rest of it. All right, so thanks very much for tuning in to this lesson. I want to remind you again, as always, if you want to get any more information, learn about what I do, get a free copy of my book, Borrow Smart, Repay Smart. Thanks very much and have a wonderful day.